Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk with me, your host, Pop. And it's nice to see everybody here today already. People such as Fabric Folds and DJ Ronnie G and hey, B17. Time for your occasional appearance. Of course it is. And Fabric, first thing Fabric Folds mentions is there's a Freyren mobile game. My first thought is I don't like mobile games because they can turn them off on you at any time. So if they're going to come out with a Freyren game, bring it out for console or PC so I can play it and keep it. That's what I say. And I like how you're greeting now. Ni hao, comrades. How did you serve glorious People's Republic of Canada today? All glory to Chairman Carney and party. What's up, DJ Ronnie G? Good to see ya. Hey, and Alex Moore, always coming in, grabbing a seat. Sit back, relax. Let's start our trades talk. You guys know how it goes here. First, we'll look at some news around there. We'll see what's going on. And then we'll have some articles to read on the shortage of skilled trades and what's being done about it. We'll have our incident review. Our accident that we scrutinize and look over and see what happened, and then we'll have pictures and videos because everybody loves picture time. It's just it's the law. People love it. On that mobile game topic, you miss playing Flappy Bird. Yeah, my phone is so old. It's an iPhone 6 and Angry Birds still works on it. I can't do much anything else. I can still text on it. I can still talk on it. But as far as games playing on it, I got Angry Birds and Traffic Stop. And that's it. So fortunately, they haven't taken those away or shut them down on me. All right, let's get to it. The news here, courtesy of Plant Magazine. This one was... this article here, this little news item. It's about GM investing $63 million at their Oshawa assembly for truck production. Truck production, not EV production. On February the 18th, GM Canada announced a new $63 million investment in Oshawa assembly to upgrade stamping operations, supporting preparations to build the next generation of gas-powered full-size pickups and enhancing capability in the service parts business. This investment builds on the $280 million announced in June 2023, bringing GM's total investment in Oshawa since 2020 to $1.5 billion with a B. You have a burner iPhone 3S sitting on your nightstand. An iPhone 3S, that's worthy of being put into a museum there, B17. That's awesome. Flappy Bird, you didn't know we're talking to him today? All right. Oshawa Assembly currently builds Chevrolet Silverado light and heavy-duty full-size pickups on 2 shifts and is GM's only North American facility producing both models on the same line. The site also supports aftermarket parts focused on stamping, related sub-assembly, and other activities. Product details and launch timing for the next generation pickup will be shared at a later date. GM noted that St. Catharines Propulsion will produce GM's next generation of V8 engines, which power our high-demand, full-size trucks and SUVs. Cami Assembly continues to be assessed for future opportunities, GM said. So they're investing money into gas-powered trucks, not EVs. But this will tie into another story that I saw here. So here we go. They're looking at trucks and gas-powered ones, not EV ones. Let's see. Trump keeps carve-out under Kuzma in new 10% global tariff. What's this all about? The majority of Canadian exports will remain exempted from Donald Trump's new 10% global levy as the U.S. president pivots after the Supreme Court dealt a blow to his plans to realign global trade. A fact sheet from the White House said the latest tariff will not hit goods compliant under the Canadian-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade, known as CUSMA. The duty will also not be applied on top of sector-specific tariffs like steel, aluminum, and automobiles. Trump signed an executive order Friday to enact the worldwide tariff beginning on Tuesday, using Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act. That duty can only stay in place for 150 days unless Congress votes to extend it. Yeah, Floppy Bird, you're bad. Someday you're going to have to stay betting on how long it takes before you say some freak stuff. Those members of the Supreme Court who voted against our very acceptable and proper method of tariff should be ashamed of themselves, Trump posted on social media. Their decision was ridiculous, but now the adjustment process begins, and we will do everything possible to take in even more money than we were taking in before. Earlier Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court concluded it was not legal for Trump to use the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, better known as IEEPA, for his Liberation Day tariffs and fentanyl-related duties on Canada, Mexico, and China. Trump declared an emergency at the northern border related to the flow of fentanyl in order to use IEEPA to hit Canada with 35% tariffs. Those duties did not apply to goods compliant under CUSMA. In a 6-3 ruling, the court said the U.S. Constitution very clearly gives Congress power over taxes and tariffs. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, "The framers did not vest any part of the taxing power in the executive branch." The ruling did not say whether companies hammered by those tariffs should get refunds. As of December, federal data showed $133 billion has been collected. Your favorite Cheeto man taxing everything? Yeah, well, he's the right guy for it. The court's decision reinforces Canada's position that the IEEPA tariffs imposed by the United States are unjustified, said Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc in a post on social media. While Canada has the best trade deal with the United States of any trading partner, we recognize that critical work lies ahead to support Canadian businesses and workers who remain affected by Section 232 tariffs on steel, aluminum, and automotive sectors. During a 40-minute press conference Friday afternoon, Trump lashed out at the Supreme Court justices and said the decision was incorrect. Trump also denigrated Europe as too woke and took aim at Canada, saying the country ripped off the U.S. and stole car plants. Trump claimed that Canada said it hoped he would win at the Supreme Court because if you don't win, you'll actually be able to charge us with additional work, higher tariffs. LeBlanc spoke to U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer by phone recently. When asked for comment on Trump's claim about Canada, LeBlanc's office referred to his social media statement. Greer told Fox News Friday that while the 10% tariff is in place, the Trump administration will begin investigations of countries under Section 301 of the Trade Act. That allows the president to take trade actions if the investigation finds a trading partner's policies are unreasonable and discriminatory. But it would take months and include a period for public comment. Friday's ruling will have little effect on the Canadian economy since most of its exports to the U.S. are shielded by the CUSMA carve-out, said CIBC chief economist Avery Shenfield. Candice Lang, president and CEO of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, says it's not the last chapter of this never-ending story. She cautioned that Canada should prepare for new, blunter mechanisms to be used to reassert trade pressure. Trump's tariffs and threats of annexation have rattled Canada ahead of a mandatory review of the CUSMA Trilateral Trade Pact later this year. Trump has called the trade agreement irrelevant and said it may have served its purpose. A successful CUSMA review must see Trump's separate sectorial tariffs dropped, and conservative leader Pierre Poilievre in a social media post. Poilievre criticized Prime Minister Mark Carney for not securing a deal with the Trump administration. And that's easy for Poilievre to do. I mean, you're the official opposition. You're going to criticize the Prime Minister no matter what. Also, Poilievre has no guts anyway. He's got no balls. He can't win anything. He's lame. The truth is, no one can control what President Trump will say or do, and so we must instead focus on what we can control, Poilievre said. We must unblock our energy and minerals, unleash our economy, and bolster our military, and self-reliance for leverage to fight for tariff-free trade with the U.S. The Supreme Court's decision is a win for the U.S. separation of powers and the American and Canadian economies, said George Mason University law professor Ilya Somin, who represents small businesses pushing back on the tariffs, but also for the rule of law, Somin told the Canadian press. The rule of law is at odds with a system under which the president can impose any tariffs he wants on any country for any reason at any time. If we annex Canada, can we at least not take Quebec? I don't need to deal with it. You know what, B-17? The U.S., from the last time when Quebec wanted to separate back in 1995, the U.S. didn't want to take Quebec anyway. France didn't want to take Quebec. I mean, so don't worry about it. Like there's going to be no annexing of Canada. Fabric, you remember, jokes aside, you're old enough to remember the trade war in the 80s when they start this stuff. I start looking for what they're trying to hide. Good man. Yep. Always look for what's going on. There's they got the left hand telling you to look over here and the right hand is moving around and moving stuff around without you seeing it. So that's good, man. That's the thing to do. Yeah, B-17 trade war. That's what's going on. When they impose tariffs and like that, and make trading difficult, it's a trade war. Talking about replacing Pierre with Ford if he loses the next election. Really? Poilievre is going to be replaced by Doug Ford? That is just ridiculous. I mean, hopefully Alberta is gone by then. Hopefully Alberta becomes its own separate nation, and then we don't even have to worry about those clowns, because that's all they are there. They're just clowns in Ottawa. Just like there's clowns in Washington. This one seemed interesting here. The manufacturers and exporters received $3 million to support prairie manufacturers. What is this, a government handout? Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters, the CME, has announced that Prairie Economic Development Canada, PrairiesCan, is investing more than $3 million over 3 years through the Regional Tariff Response Initiative to support manufacturing SMEs across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Yeah, Fabric got it right. Nothing east of Manitoba. Running from April 2025 to March 2028, the funding will enable CME to expand training and competitiveness programming designed to help prairie manufacturers navigate trade volatility and tariff pressures. CME said more than 400 SMEs are expected to benefit over the program's duration. According to CME press statement, this initiative will help manufacturers gain access to training for operational excellence, including Lean 101, company-specific competitiveness assessments, operational excellence conference, export readiness, expert consultations, and regional. This sounds like this is a scam. This is not. So $3 million for 400 companies. That's going to be nothing. This is a big scam. They're not going to see it. Operational excellence and Lean 101. That's like your Six Sigma stuff. If you guys don't know what Six Sigma is, it's like keeping everything organized, following a proper procedures and such, and it's just it's getting into lean manufacturing or just-in-time manufacturing. This having a company-specific competitiveness assessment, so that just means somebody's going to come in and assess your company. This is garbage. This is nothing. There is nothing here that's going to help anybody. Big joke. That's what your son was telling you. He lives in the Edmonton. Okay. That's awesome. Fabric, right on. You like that Canadians are similar to Americans in the sense that they will violently rip on any province or state that isn't theirs. Well, yeah, of course. NAFTA, Kuzma, you want the next trade deal to be called OPI. Make it work. You know Six Sigma? Yeah, there you go. A lot of people don't. This lean manufacturing, the Six Sigma stuff, it's quite new to some people, and it fails a lot at places that try to institute it because nobody keeps up with it. People don't buy into it, and it just fails. It falls by the wayside because unless everybody's going to do Six Sigma, then it's not going to make it. Because I've seen it happen. I've lived through it as well. So here we go. Ottawa incentivizes electric vehicle purchases. Nova Scotia makes them more expensive. Nova Scotia is one of the maritime provinces. I think they're by Maine, actually. If you're looking on a map of the U.S., you got the state of Maine. I think Nova Scotia is like around that area. Let's see what this is all about, because it says Ottawa, so the capital wants to incentivize vehicle purchases, but then you got another place that makes them more expensive. It sounds like a real brain trust here working. As Ottawa incentivizes Canadians to buy electric vehicles or hybrids, Nova Scotia is making it more expensive to drive them. Nova Scotia's budget table on Monday includes a $500 fee for electric vehicles and a $250 fee for hybrids, to be paid every 2 years. Ottawa, meanwhile, has started offering incentives up to $5,000 to buy electric cars and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrid vehicles. That's not enough. Also, stop offering incentives, because all an incentive is the people's money. The money the government collects from the people is what those incentives are. Sal Falk lives in the rural community of Middle La Have on Nova Scotia's South Shore and purchased a used electric car in November. She said the levy is absurd and penalizes Nova Scotians who have chosen to drive low-emission vehicles. For someone who just made the switch to an EV, I'm now staring down this new tax that feels like I'm being punished for making an environmental choice. Yeah, well, it's you voted that government in, so you live with your choice. You chose to buy an electric vehicle. You chose to vote for your government. So your next thing to do would be to vote out your government that wants you to pay a levy for driving an electric vehicle. I thought you're supposed to be doing the right thing. Oh, it's so virtuous to drive an electric vehicle because you're having zero emissions. And yet here your local government is taxing you more for driving an electric vehicle. Sounds like a bunch of hypocrites there. Sounds like they don't really care about the environment. If someone's buying an electric vehicle for low emissions and you've got the government going, yeah, we're going to charge them more. So that's how you know they're not serious about the environment. Thanks for that confirmation, DJ. Yes, they're near Maine. Okay. Nova Scotia is where your Cajuns came from? Really? I did not know that, Fabric. Yes, Fabric is native. He owns a ranch. He's a veterinarian. Large breed veterinarian. Very good one, too. You got a nephew before leaving high school and you are not allowed to hold that baby? What, are they afraid you're going to drop him or something? You just got to be careful, that's all. All right. Let's keep going here. Let's check out this train wreck of an article. Abby Lefebvre, an energy coordinator with Halifax's Ecology Action Centre, says the province's new fee is disappointing. This sends a very confusing message. It's discouraging to people who are looking to explore EVs and discouraging to those who have already taken that step and are enjoying their EVs and now have this fee slapped on them. Provincial officials say the levy ensures electric and hybrid car owners are contributing to road maintenance. Oh, it's because they would take it out of the gas taxes. I see. So you're not filling up with fuel and paying your gas tax because you just fill up with you charge up your car, and it's like, oh well, we got to get them for road maintenance. Yeah. Here it is. Yeah, it says here, as gas-reliant drivers are already paying the roads through the provincial tax on fuel, the province estimates the fees will raise $1.6 million in 26-27 fiscal year and $3.3 million in 27-28. That's assuming more people are buying EVs. What if people stop buying them in Nova Scotia? Kurt Sampson, the executive director of Electric Vehicle Association of Atlantic Canada, called the government's new fee short-sighted and irresponsible. It will slow the clean transportation progress our province needs. I doubt Nova Scotia needs it. I really do. I don't think they have a very large population. They're on a bloody island anyway, or a very small province. So I doubt you guys are suffering from overcrowding and all that pollution. Sampson said the principle he supports the idea that all drivers should contribute to road maintenance. However, this research shows that heavy commercial trucks cause far greater damage to roads than passenger cars do. This is true, especially with the frost heaving and the extreme weather. You know, you got the heat and you got the cold in the winter. That damages your roadways as well. Damage to highways and roads are largely caused by freight volumes and our collective spending on delivered goods, not passenger vehicles. Sampson said a flat fee on EVs unfairly targets low-damage vehicles while ignoring this reality. Premier Tim Houston told reporters Tuesday the levy on electric and hybrid vehicles is necessary. EVs have a wear and tear element on our roads and highways. They're generally a lot heavier, so they sometimes have quite a bit more wear and tear, and the owners of the vehicles should pay something towards that. Electrical vehicles are typically heavier than gas-powered vehicles due to weight of the car's battery. Claudia Schender, the leader of the official opposition NDP, said Tuesday the levy on EVs and hybrids is absolutely ridiculous, and in the span of one day, she's heard from hundreds of concerned Nova Scotians on this topic. This levy represents the only significant tax in our budget, which is going to be on people who are just trying to do the right thing, Schender told reporters. Interim Liberal leader Ian Rankin told reporters that he thinks the levy was put forward because the Premier does not like EVs. Okay. Rankin said during the 2021 election, which the Liberals lost to the Progressive Conservatives, Houston's party sent out letters to residents in rural communities complaining about the Liberal government's EV rebate program. So this is a step further, not only taking away the incentive, but penalizing people for driving electric vehicles. In 2021, under Nova Scotia's former Liberal government, the province announced an electric vehicle rebate program of up to $3,000 for new, fully electric vehicles, $2,000 for used EVs and new hybrids, and $1,000 for used vehicles. It also offered $500 for e-bikes that cost $1,200 or more. That rebate program has ended, and final payments were issued in May 2025. Houston's Progressive Conservative government introduced rebates in April 2024 for industrial and commercial medium and heavy-duty zero-emission vehicles. Eligible vehicles are vans and trucks used for commercial or industrial purposes that weigh more than 3,856 kilograms, or that's roughly 6,000 pounds. The Department of Natural Resources said at that time it would spend $500,000 on the one-year program. However, applications for this rebate are still open. So that's pretty funny. You know, you want people to buy electric vehicles and drive them, then you slap a fee on them. Maybe just rips out royal farts whenever he wants, so taking that diaper off probably be equal to opening Pandora's box. Oh yeah, you'd really know, that's for sure. Just the rank stink that comes out of those babies sometimes. You're surprised Nova Scotians are letting this fly? Mabou, Cape Breton. Maybe Cape Breton is where the Rankin family is from. They specialize in Irish music. Cape Breton. Yeah, Cape Breton is funny because it's like a 6-foot gap separating Nova Scotia and Cape Breton. And they're like, we're not Nova Scotians, we're Capers. And it's like, okay, just keep telling yourself that. Yeah, that's where the Rankin family, yeah. Ian Rankin, you wonder if he's Cookie's brother. Cookie Rankin. Hey, what's up, Godzillionaire? Kaiju in the house. Zero emissions except for what we use to make the battery. Yes. How soon they forget. Alberta exit. I mean, I hope so. I really think we're doing okay as far as getting petitions signed to have our referendum. And then when the referendum comes around, we got to get everybody out there to sign. Anyways, that's it for the news from Plant Magazine. Let's move along here. We'll look at the Globe and Mail. This is New Strategy Designs a Future-Ready Trade System. Red Deer Polytechnic. So Red Deer is like the one of the cities that's right between Calgary and Edmonton in Alberta. It's like the halfway mark. As governments and industry move forward with a wave of new infrastructure projects, Canada is confronting a growing shortage of skilled trades workers. Alberta alone is short an estimated 22,000 workers, a figure that is expected to rise, said Rob Thompson, Vice President of Manufacturing West at Nova Chemicals. When we hear about these nation-building projects, we know we'll need highly skilled, technically proficient tradesmen to build those pipelines, mines, ports, and other capital projects. It's a supply and demand issue, he says, noting that for Nova Chemicals, the country's largest petrochemical producer, the challenge is compounded by an aging workforce nearing retirement. The need to address that mounting gap helped spur the recent launch of the Central Alberta Trade Strategy, says Mr. Thompson, a regionally coordinated initiative co-led by Red Deer Polytechnic and Nova Chemicals, with participation from Olds College, K-12 education, and industry partners. The strategy is aimed at eliminating structural issues and modernizing how trades training is delivered and supported, explains Mr. Thompson. A key priority is to enhance the overall ecosystem for the trades. Can we address the Snowbird article about Puerto Vallarta at the top of the page? Puerto Vallarta that literally on fire right now due to cartel violence. Oh yeah. Canadians should be cautious with Mexico travel, Anand says as tensions subside. From Florida to Puerto Vallarta, Canadian snowbirds face shrinking list of winter havens. Because Godzillionaire asked for it. Oh, I gotta subscribe to read to this article. Up yours, Globe and Mail. I'm not subscribing to you. I can't do it, Godzillionaire. Where was that one that Veritax was telling me that, what is it, archive.is? Paywall, boo. I know, right? Let's see. Can I get it? I am not a robot. It was archived 3 hours ago. Did we get it? Ah, look at this. Internet wins again. Literally nothing a journalist says behind a paywall is worth reading. I know, right? But thanks to Veritax. All right. Rich Jeannot was watching the Canada-U.S. Olympic gold medal hockey game on Sunday morning when his wife Lisa began to smell smoke in their condominium in Puerto Vallarta, where the Saskatoon couple had spent their winters for about a decade. Mr. Jeannot, 59, first checked the stove. Then he looked outside and saw 3 cars were on fire. He went up to the roof of their building and counted roughly 25 fires burning across the city, including a mattress store across from their condo. We were scared. This isn't the Mexico we know and love. Well, it's a third world country, in case anybody's wondering. Like, don't fool yourself. You move to Mexico because it's cheap, or you vacation there because it's cheap. The unrest followed reports that Mexico's army had killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, Nemesio Ruben Osuega Cervantes, as part of a government crackdown on cartels. Soon afterwards, violence flared in parts of Jalisco state, where Puerto Vallarta is located. The federal government warned Canadian travelers to Mexico to remain cautious, even as the situation becomes more stable. Major airlines said Tuesday they will resume normal service to Puerto Vallarta after temporarily suspending flights following the violence. For the Genots who bought their Puerto Vallarta condo about 8 years ago, the violence was unsettling. The city has become a booming hub for Canadian snowbirds, many of whom own property there, but the recent violence, along with economic turmoil in Cuba and continuing tensions between Canada and the United States, have retirees confronting how safe and how stable their winter escapes really are. Once again, you're hoping your third world doesn't crash. Stephen Fine, president of Snowbird Advisor, which provides services that include insurance and currency exchange, said Sunday's upheaval has shaken the Puerto Vallarta snowbird community. It has a history of being a safe place and a very popular destination for both snowbirds and other Canadian travelers, Mr. Fine said. Mexican City has become even more popular in recent months, as some Canadians who might have once have wintered in U.S. destinations such as Arizona or Florida have looked elsewhere amid rising Canada-U.S. tensions. I hear people talking at work about, I don't want to travel to the States. And I'm thinking to myself, why not? As long as you just shut up and just enjoy yourself there, you'll be fine. But if you go yapping your face off about things, if you suffer from TDS or whatever, then yeah, you're going to have trouble. Just go there to have a vacation. Don't go there to be an idiot. You're a visitor to another country. Behave yourself. Notice how quiet all those burrito burners that were ice out protesters are? Why aren't they down in Pakistan fighting the cartels? Yeah, because if you are so proud of the country you came from, why aren't you fighting for it? Instead, you've gone to another country that's better. A blog post on Snowbird Advisor described the Bay of Banderas, the large bay with Puerto Vallarta at its center, as the new Florida for many Canadian snowbirds, citing modestly priced rental apartments and condo developments, along with an international airport that handles direct flights from several Canadian cities. Other traditional sunspots have been disrupted. Cuba has faced fuel shortages linked to intensifying U.S. sanctions, and earlier this month, major Canadian airlines, including Air Canada, WestJet, and Air Transat, suspended service to the country. Godzilla, you quit going to Mexico 10 years ago because this cartel crap was getting out of hand? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's just ridiculous. People got to use their heads as to where they're going. Oh, behave, baby. Behave. That's right, DJ. In November 2025, before the energy crisis worsened, Cuba's Minister of Tourism, Juan Carlos Garcia Granda, said Canadians are its most important visitors and that snowbirds were a major market for the country, according to a report from Travel Market Report, a trade publication for retail travelers advisors in North America. Cuba? You mean communism leads to shortages? Exactly. These people that think they want to have communism, they should go try living in these countries. See how great it really is. It's the utopia that they've always dreamed of. Definitely go there and try it out. Why not? Go to China, go to Cuba. Make a living there. It's a paradise. Just a sec, guys. All right. The only thing you know about Puerto Vallarta is that the Love Boat stopped there. Stop there. Okay, rest in peace, Captain Stubing, who is better than Luffy. Good old Captain Stubing, eh? He was played by Gavin McLeod, who was also on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Aaron Wong, a real estate broker who helps Canadians buy property in Mexico, said since 2020 he has seen the number of Canadians buying homes in Mexico quadruple, with much of that activity in Puerto Vallarta. The affordability has been a massive draw for Canadian clients, Mr. Wong said. He said that among his Canadian snowbird clients, he has seen an increase in interest in Mexico, especially in the past year, since the implementation of the U.S. tariffs. Spend some time in Miami and say communism is great. Watch a crap load of brown people say you're effing stupid. Cuba has 90% literacy, high doctor to people ratio, but precious little opportunity to earn well. Yeah, there you go, DJ. But if they join us directly or indirectly, we'll gain a ton of smart, literate people. Yeah, I still don't know why the embargo's still going on, you guys. I really don't. Oh, Robert York was the detective in the show Vegas. Right. I've seen advertisements for that when I watch my old commercials. Take that, Belton Road. Yeah. Screw you, China. Victor Vera, originally from Mexico City, moved to Puerto Vallarta 28 years ago, and he works as a singer in a band and runs Vera Realty with his wife. He said the city is a winter home for thousands of Canadians, with about 80% of his real estate clients looking to buy or rent in Puerto Vallarta coming from Canada. In her 80-unit condominium in Puerto Vallarta, Lori Davis, 62, estimates at least half the units are filled by Canadians. The city has been her winter refuge for more than 40 years. Now retired, she spends 4 months each winter there with her husband in the condo they own away from their home in Saskatoon. On Sunday morning, she was out for a walk when a local resident stopped her and told her to go home because it was not safe. Then she heard explosions. We were all shaking, she said. In her building, residents gathered for a potluck on Sunday night inside their gates while they remained locked in because some people did not have food, she said. It's unbelievable how people come together, she said. For many snowbirds, the strong communities they build abroad make it difficult to leave, and when instability hits, while some Canadians are also avoiding U.S. destinations this year, many continue to return. Mr. Jeannot said Ms. Beavis both plan to stay in Puerto Vallarta. The situation has already begun to settle. Mr. Jeannot said, and after years of building a life there, leaving does not feel right. Yeah, well, when your life's in danger, I think it's time to GTFO. That's what I think. Think about your life over where you're staying just because, oh yeah, it's warm, it's cheap. Nope. Get out. Save your life. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where it is. Okay. Cubans know about the aliens, so we have to keep the embargo. Plus, Cuban women got da boom chicka boom, and their hips don't. Oh, fabric. All right, we took that little side road there, and I mean, sure they got the leader of the cartel, but get all the other guys too. Like, they cracked down on the cartels, and all you did was get rid of one guy that we know of. Like, wipe them out. Anyways, we left off here. The need to address that mounting gap helped spur the recent launch of the Central Alberta Trade Strategy, regionally coordinated initiative co-led by the Red Deer Polytechnic and Nova Chemicals with participation from Olds College, K-12 education, and industry partners. The strategy is aimed at eliminating structural issues and modernizing how trades training is delivered and supported. A key priority is to enhance the overall ecosystem of the trades. When you lived in Miami, you met a half Cuban, half Italian chick. Your 21-year-old mind could not comprehend that level of hotness. Nice. Snowbird sounds like a slur you'd call a traveling Canadian. No, it just means they fly south for the winter. That's all they do. That's exactly what a snowbird is. When it starts getting cold up here, people go, okay, I'm going south for the winter. And they go where it's warmer, and they stay there until it gets warm back up here. So they show up back in April or May. And there you go. They don't want to deal with the winter. Lindsay Engel, Vice President, Academic and Student Experience at Red Deer Polytechnic, who has been working on this strategy over the past 18 months, agrees that what is needed is a holistic stance from a systems level perspective. Oh, great. She's got the holistic stance vocabulary. Let's see what this gets into. She notes that part of our mandate as a polytechnic is to respond to industry needs and the demand for more apprentices and an increased workforce. The slur for Canadians is snow Mexicans. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, the traditional model for attracting, training, and retaining workers in the trades is no longer working. She says training pathways are fragmented, lack flexibility, and can be difficult to navigate, particularly for learners outside major urban centers. I don't know where she's getting this from. It sounds like she's lying, though. The new integrated approach will be centered on learners, employers, and communities, said Ms. Engel. It will bring training closer to where people live and work, offering micro-credentials that can be completed in shorter, flexible segments and strengthen work-based learning opportunities through apprenticeships, cooperative placements, and mentorship. I don't know what the hell micro-credentials are, but it doesn't sound like anything that's really going to help you out. East Alaskans. It will remove barriers, said Ms. Engel, for example, by improving access to programs especially for underrepresented groups, including Indigenous learners and those living in rural or remote communities. The new strategy aims to improve completion rates in apprenticeship programs currently hovering between 40 and 65%, depending on the trade. Really? 40 and 65% completion rate? That's terrible. Adding more people to the workforce pipeline. We'd also like to create a digital apprenticeship platform where learners and instructors benefit from resources and support. She says, explaining that another goal of the plan, which outlines 7 interconnected initiatives, will be parity of esteem, elevating trades as a rewarding and respected career path, given equal weight and value as other occupations. Oof. One of the central Alberta trade strategy strengths, said Ms. Engel, is the collaboration of cross-sector partners with diverse perspectives to better align training with workforce needs. That's just word salad there, everybody. That's all that is. That's just somebody liking to hear the sound of their own voice when they talk. For Red Deer Polytechnic, Ms. Engel says a systems-level approach is critical, one that integrates the perspectives of industry, K-12 education, post-secondary institutions, and government. The strategy's next phase involves establishing a coalition and shared governance model, she says, where we can pool resources and make decisions together to have the greatest economic impact. For Nova Chemicals and Industry, adds Mr. Thompson, outcomes of the Central Alberta Trade Strategy will bring workforce stability and a trade system that is more responsive, inclusive, and resilient, and capable of supporting Alberta's next generation of economic growth. There we go. All right, well, we're moving right along here. Let's skip these last couple articles because we can save them for next week. But let's do our accident investigation. Yes, indeed, it's accident time. It's accident time. If you have micro credentials for more than 4 hours, consult your physician. So I saw this one and picked it out. Worker was fatally injured after being run over by an excavator. Okay, now excavators don't move very fast, so I'm kind of wondering how this guy got run over by one. So let's dig into this and see what happened. Here's the summary. An operations manager and a heavy equipment operator had finished maneuvering a broken excavator into a prepared spot in the yard using another excavator. When the operator proceeded to unhook the chains between both excavators, the operations manager running the excavator moved the controls for the bucket. Before the operator was clear, the chain attached to the bucket struck the heavy equipment operator and inadvertently pulled the broken excavator backwards and over them. Oh. The operator sustained serious injuries, which they later succumbed to in hospital. A little background information of the employer: DeAngelis Development Corporation, private corporation registered in the province of Alberta in 2003. DeAngelis Development Corporation provided a variety of earth moving and trucking services to Parkland County and to the Edmonton area. The facility was located in Atchison, Alberta, and employed less than a dozen people. The contractor, Kowalczyk Transportation, was a private corporation registered in the province of Alberta. Kowalczyk Transportation was hired by DeAngelis Development Corporation to pick up the disabled Kobelco excavator from an off-site location and deliver it to the DeAngelis Development Corporation yard. The operations manager was employed by DeAngelis Development Corporation since October 20th, 2014. The operations manager had received various training courses, including leadership for safety excellence, principles of safety management, petroleum and construction safety training, operator training, and competency for an excavator, dozer, loader, grader, packer, and skid steer. The operations manager was operating the John Deere excavator at the time of the incident. Well, with all that training, and he still hurt somebody. So this is on him for now, from what I can read. The heavy equipment operator, the deceased, was employed by DeAngelis Development Corporation since July 19th, 2018. And this reports from September, so not very long. He'd only been there for a couple months. The operator completed several training courses with DeAngelis Development Corporation involving loaders, dozers, packers, and excavators. The operator had received external courses related to construction safety, first aid, ground disturbance, and hazard management. All right. Here's the equipment and materials. They owned a John Deere 200 DLC excavator. It was a 6-cylinder turbocharged hydraulic excavator, produced 164 horsepower and weighed 22,000 kilograms. That's about 45,000 pounds. Excavator had a sprocket center to idle center length of 3.660 meters. That's probably 10 feet. With a minimum arm swing radius of 2.4 meters. At the time of incident, the operations manager was operating it. Okay, so there it is. The Kobelco excavator was a SK210 LC, was a disabled hydraulic excavator that had a ground track length of 3.660 meters and had 150 horsepower with an operating weight of 21,000 kilograms. Figure 1, the incident location of the two excavators involved. A is John Deere excavator that used tow and maneuver the Kobelco one. Yes, there it is. B, the disabled excavator in its final position. Right there, yes. C is the approximate position where the heavy equipment operator was laying after being struck. So right there. Let's get a closer look in there. Right there. So he was right behind the track of that thing. Yes, DJ, a disabled excavator. Yeah, it gets its own driving lane and everything. Gets its own parking spot. Yes, an oh dear. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look here. Here's video. They have video footage. Oh. This is a still frame from it, but security video footage shows the position of the heavy equipment operator just before the operations manager and the Deere excavator activated the controls. There's the A is the excavator, B is the heavy equipment operator. You can barely see him there. And C is the John Deere excavator. You found one game that actually lets you dig with an excavator? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is looking in the cab of the John Deere excavator. The pilot control shut-off lever is in the upper lock position. Lever would lock the controls and prevent unintentional activation of the machine. Yes. As you can see here, there it is. There's the lever. It's pulled back. When you push it forward, that engages your hydraulics. You can use all the controls. When you pull it back like that and lock it, obviously the guy pulled it up after the accident happened. You can't tell me that he just he wouldn't have left it unlocked. Game is called Out of Ore. Nice. Okay, we got a lot of pictures on this one. The chains hooked up between the two excavators. That's them there. A dunnage added after the incident to prevent movement of the disabled excavator. Okay, yeah, they put some 4x4 behind the track so it wouldn't move. Steel chains fed through a screw pin shackle that was attached to the back of the John Deere bucket and then fed through 2 additional shackles located beneath the Kobelco excavator. Chains were secured using the Clevis grab hooks. All right, yeah, there they are. And then underneath is where they were connected to the frame. I get a heavy machinery license that plays out of ore in real life. I do. I've taken you guys for rides before in a loader I operate. Maybe next time I'll take you guys out for a ride in the skid steer when I'm plowing snow. Okay, here's the sequence of events. Okay, here we go. On September 18th, 2018, at 8:56 a.m., a Kowalchuk transportation truck pulling a lowboy trailer arrived at DeAngelis Development Corporation property to deliver a disabled Kobelco excavator. After the lowboy trailer was detached from the truck, the operations manager drove the John Deere excavator into position. The load securing chains were removed from the Kobelco excavator, and towing chains were then affixed between both the excavators. The operations manager began to pull the disabled Kobelco excavator off the lowboy trailer. At approximately 9:18 a.m., operations manager began to move the disabled Kobelco excavator through the DeAngelis Development Corporation yard to its intended location, which was being prepared by other DDC workers using a skid steer. At 9:26, the disabled Kobelco excavator was parked in its final location, and the heavy equipment operator proceeded in between the two excavators to remove the towing chains. Okay, so to remove the chains, he would have had to gone underneath the Kobelco. The operations manager and the John Deere excavator activated the controls to the bucket after receiving an all-clear signal from the heavy equipment operator. The movement of the bucket caused the attached tow chains between the excavators to tighten, then strike and knock the heavy equipment operator to the ground. The movement of the bucket for the John Deere excavator also caused the Kobelco excavator to be pulled backwards, and its track ran over the heavy equipment operator. Oof, that is a big movement to do. Like, you've got to really be moving that thing quite a bit to get it to move like that. The operations manager, realizing what had happened, used the bucket of the John Deere excavator to push the Kobelco forward and off the heavy equipment operator. The operations manager then called 911 while a nearby worker went to the shop to summon assistance. At 9:38, EMS arrived at location and attended to the injured heavy equipment operator before transporting them to the Royal Alexandra Hospital, where they later passed away. Review for enforcement action was completed. It was determined that the file would be referred to Alberta Justice for review. The entire file was sent to Alberta Justice. Charges were laid on July 17th, 2020. There was a decision to withdraw the charges on November 2021. This investigation completed December 2021. Okay, so somebody was going to get charged, but then they were withdrawn. Okay. So that guy That guy would have, like, the bucket would have moved a long way to make that thing roll over top of somebody. First, the chains would have, hit him if he did get the all clear sign. Honestly, when I'm operating a piece of heavy equipment, I wait until the guy is out from underneath wherever he is and standing off to the side, and then I will move the machine. I won't move it if the guy's underneath and telling me to give me the signal. I'll be like, no, get out of there. Those chains killed him before the excavator hit him. You know what, Fabric? You're probably right. If he moved it fast enough and the chains like came up and either hit him under the chin or whatever it did to knock him to the ground, and then he pulled it on top of him, like that's it makes me frustrated that somebody had to lose their life like that. As I say, as you're the equipment operator, you are responsible for what happens. Not the guy that's outside. He is not operating the equipment. He is someone that's helping on the outside. You are responsible for that machine. You don't move until everyone is clear of the area. So him thinking that he saw, or he says he saw a sign by the guy telling him to move, I wouldn't have moved. I would have said, nope, get out of there. Don't hang around under there. And these things look like they're still hooked up. They're still running through the base of the Kobelco. I mean, they are unhooked from the bucket. But yeah, you as an operator are responsible for the actions of everything going on. It doesn't matter if you're operating a skid steer, like a bobcat, excavator, a crane. You're the operator. You have the final say. So if Buddy is in a spot that he's going to get hurt, tell him, get out of there. Go stand off to the side for a minute, and then I'll move away. So this is a terrible tragedy to happen. This is he's got that pulled back pretty well. Yeah. Wish this was a better picture. These security cameras aren't that great. There's the bucket. Yeah, I would have told, being the guy on the outside, the helper outside, I would have been like, put your bucket on the ground. I'd be like, okay, I'm climbing underneath. And I would have unhooked. I actually would have unhooked the chains from the bucket first. So I wouldn't even climbed underneath. I would have unhooked them from the bucket. Stood off to the side and said, okay, go away. Go park this thing. Yeah, even if he got the sign, he had to have jerked that bucket. That's what I thought. It's like, how good of an operator, like anybody can jump in and operate stuff, but are you a good operator? Are you smooth? Can you finesse the controls? If this guy was just ham-fisted and just was like jerking the controls around, yeah, then he's going to be a danger out there. Yeah, that's oh, there you go. Have a look at this. We'll try to get in. Okay, we can only get in 500 times zoom. There's a shackle that hooks onto the chain on the back of that bucket. The proper way to do this is, hey, buddy, lower your bucket down and I'll take that shackle off. take the shackle off, take the chain off, stand to the side. Okay, pull the excavator away, and then Buddy pulls the excavator away, and then you go underneath and disconnect the other chains. So there is a way to do things. They didn't do it the correct way. They should have done it. Disconnect from the bucket. Get Buddy to put the bucket on the ground, rest it on the ground. And you always give the operator, you look them right in the eyes, because that's what you do. You look at the operator right in the eyes and you tell them, you give them the hold everything. There's signals you can give them. Be like, don't move, take your hands off the controls. And they should have done it that way. Disconnect from the bucket first, then the machine. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And yeah, this thing, the lockout. Yeah, it's only up there because he put it up there. Nothing would move if he had this up there. Well, and he should have done that. He should have, when Buddy was going underneath to unhook, he should have pulled this thing up, and none of that would have happened. He would pull the lock up. He wouldn't have any movement of the controls. But he obviously thought he got a signal from him to do it. So he put this down and moved the controls. Why is that still attached? I don't know. As you can see there. You got some pretty good cameras here. That's a pretty good shot. There's the shackle. There's another one. There's the chain that went through. Chain is still attached to the bucket. Too much wrong with this for them to drop charges. I mean, they withdrew them. They wanted charges. But yeah. So let this be a lesson to you guys out there, and myself as well, because it's easy to forget when you're on in a rush or something on the job site. Take your time. Disconnect the bucket first. Get your operator, and you have to trust your operator. You have to know whether they're a good operator or not. And, put the bucket down, and I'll loosen off the chain. Like, you can stop. You can go and talk to him in the cab. Tell him, hey, put the bucket down, and then lock the controls, and then I'll go and take the chain off. And if he doesn't, be like, up yours, man. I'm not helping you. You do it yourself then. Because you don't want to end up like the fella that got this excavator pulled over him. So the chains hit him, and it was such a harsh movement, because you can't tell me this 20,000 kilogram excavator slides easily. Like, that's a hard pull to get that thing to move backwards. So I don't think it was just moving the bucket. I think he moved the whole boom, because the bucket would have swung down, or if he'd even swung down or swung upwards, that wouldn't have moved that thing that far. It had to be like moving the whole boom or stick assembly. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you. For those that don't know much about excavators, I used to work at a place that built excavators. So you have your excavator. So this big part here with the double cylinders is the boom. They call that the boom. This smaller one here that's operated by the single cylinder, that's a stick. So the boom and the stick. So he would have had to move either the stick really fast or the boom, not the bucket. The bucket would have moved up and down, and it wouldn't have moved fast enough to pull that whole thing over top of the guy. But if he would have moved the stick, that could move quick enough. Or the boom if he would have pulled back on it. Or he swung it. There you go. That's it. That's That's it. Fabric. Maybe he swung it. Maybe he swung the boom, and that did it. Because this isn't. If you look at he doesn't look like he's squared up very much. He looks like he's over a bit. The master excavator. Nah. Just got to be careful when operating heavy equipment. That's all. You don't want to damage the equipment. You don't want to damage the things you're around. You don't want to kill people. So be a conscientious and safe operator. Driving fast or operating fast doesn't mean you're a good operator. It means you're reckless. You can be slow and steady, and that's what makes you a good operator. People will respect that you operate in slow, steady fashion, calm. You can do almost anything. Operate fast and such like that doesn't mean you're good. Hey, what's up, Aris? How you doing? Been a while. Hope you're doing well. We're just getting towards the end of our accident investigation. And yeah, this was a good one for us to dive into there, guys. Good, very good participation in this one. But let's get along to picture time. You know, picture time. It's video today, actually. And it meshes with the title of the stream. Clear the tracks. You know, that's what people say, you know, hurry, get out of the way, clear the tracks. But I am literally clearing the tracks. And you guys will see that because we got some video here. Let's go like this. Okay, first of all, too, anybody tell me where my background is from? Anybody know what show this is? This is a little contest I'm having, a little bit of fun guessing times here, and every time somebody guesses it right, then I'll change it. We'll guess again the next time around. So, do you know which anime this is from? Yes, Fabric. Careful beats fast any day. Yes. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so you guys get a good look there. All right, let's pop up the old video. And it took me a bit. I've got my hand there because I'm trying to attach the camera to my winter jacket because, as you can see, there's a lot of snow out. And there's the railway tracks. And I have to clean up the railway tracks because otherwise the rail companies, that's CN, they won't pick up our rail cars. You're glad the girl in the middle is very modest with cross on her bottoms. It's me trying to melt your brain. You got the last one, Fabric. Kudos to you. Now here you go. I got myself a leaf blower on my back. Gas-powered leaf blower. And I'm just giving her, clearing off these railway tracks. I'm not sure how it looks with my camera because I've got my camera on my pocket, but I'm not sure how well it's looking. This is my first time seeing the footage. But because the snow is not wet and heavy, it's dry, you can blow it around, even 6 inches of it. There we go. Got to clear these tracks all the way up to the switch. The snow is just flying, and yeah, it's And you'll get the occasional shock because of the dry snow and the friction. The air is moving the snow, but it also makes a lot of static electricity. Hey, it's Whoopa! It's Comrade Whoopa. Nice to see you, Comrade Leader. Achievement unlocked, Snowmax. Do you guys ever use the jet engine ice melters on the tracks? We don't have that equipment, but I'm pretty sure that CN and CP will probably have it. You saying I don't need a shovel or snowblower? I would figure the snow in New York will be wet. Very wet. So I don't think you could use that. But in Alberta, where it's very dry, not very humid and dry, we can use snowblowers to move our snow around. Or leaf blowers. How is Comrade Whoopa doing? Comrade Leader. You have a spur on the ranch that we have to keep clean or BNSF won't come, so I feel your pain. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Veritex, good to see you. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry about being late. It's all good. You're just in time to watch me clean some railway tracks with a leaf blower. But yeah, I kept getting zapped by the static electricity. Yeah, I didn't want to give them any excuse not to come, because they'll use any excuse not to pull our rail cars for us. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to clean these tracks so that these guys can't say anything about it. So it took me a while. It took me about half an hour. You did a little stream as a guest, and now you came to bother me about hockey. Well, it won't bother me too badly. I'm not too broken up about it. I haven't been following the Olympics, and I really haven't watched hockey since 2010, so. How much zap we talking about? I mean, it was good enough to go up to my wrist from my hand anyway. So it was like, You've been getting static a lot lately. Know what's going on? It might be because you're dry. Too dry? Maybe you need to wear some rubber shoes. There you go. Snow is really kicking up. You got to watch which way you blow it, too, because if the wind picks up, it blows it right back in your face. Boo, what are the Canadians supposed to bully now? Oh, you can go ahead and bully me, Whoopa. I don't mind. It's all in good fun anyway. So yeah, I got quite a ways to go before I reach the main line too. This our spur here is pretty long. There we go. Go back a little bit, try to get it. Try to get that. There we go. So this is a pretty good leaf blower too. Heavy to pack it around, but you just wear it like a backpack. We have one Canadian in our office. I said if we lose, we have to jump him. Okay, I haven't made it very far from the gate, but at least the tracks are clean. So here we go. Trying to find the best way to clean off these tracks and move all this snow out of the way. I was spitting up rocks too with this thing. Like, that's how strong this leaf blower is. When they said keep track of the snow, I don't think that's what they meant. I just take things too literal. A couple 100 meters, you didn't use freedom. Yes, I saw that. Look at you. Yeah, it's probably, I mean, maybe 200 meters. Just guessing. From our gate to the switch, I guess. The snow is deep too, eh? I'm trying to push around 6 inches of snow. Right? Because it's covering the tracks, and the tracks are pretty high up. I love you some freedom units. Well, I use them both. There we go. We're getting her. We're getting her. Cheeseburgers per second, miles per bald eagle. Yeah. Yours is 206, so you're guessing that's the standard? Oh, maybe. Yeah, they might have a thing. Oh, it's got to be a certain radius and everything like that. It can't be too sharp. It's got to be a certain angle off the main line and all that kind of stuff. It's bloody cold out that day too. But I had to do it before before CN came. Otherwise, you know, who's going to get blamed for it not being done? Yeah, we're going to blame Pop for not doing it. Up ahead, there's a what's called a derail. And that has to be unlocked before the guys can come in with the train. There's also a blue sign up there that tells them that they can't enter. They're supposed to obey the blue sign. It's a big thing with railways. Kicking up rocks and snow. I sure didn't want to do this again, that's for sure. The wind's blowing that way, so it's like, I don't want to blow it into my face. You got rocks with it? Yeah, you betcha, Whoopa. Like I said, this is a pretty powerful leaf blower. Gas powered. You wear it like a backpack. Yes, the snow is flying. Look at all the Colombian marching powder. Yeah. Are you Canucks impervious to cold, or do you use some seriously thick clothes up? Well, you know what? We wear layers. At least I do. I make sure I wear my long johns, a thick pair of socks, and we have parkas that they buy us at work. Parkas and snow pants. You'd be begging for some hot cocoa about 10 minutes ago? Yeah. No, No, we definitely dress for a whoopa. I got a balaclava on. I got my toque on. Earplugs, because it's noisy wearing that backpack blower. That's a joke. You know, they get really pissy about packing snow on the rail bed. Yeah. Is that an Olympic gold medal in hockey? Oh, wait. Nope. Yeah. Get it out of your system, you guys. Get it out of your system. I know we didn't win. The men didn't win. The women didn't win. They didn't win gold anyway. So, that's fine. That's fine. The better team won. That's all I got to say. I mean, if you guys have a goalie that stands on his head, not much you can do about it. You can try as hard as you want to score, but if the guy's going to stop every shot or the defense is going to help him out, there isn't much to do. You need maybe the guys just didn't have good chemistry on the Canadian team. Maybe they just didn't gel or come together like they should have. It can happen too. You can have high powered team, but if the guys don't get along and they're not team players, then yeah. With a touch of curling. Oh, thanks, DJ. Give Canada a break. They didn't have the ancient one, Crosby. It's been a while for him, hasn't it? He gave the goalie the honorary title of Secretary of Defense. There you go. You see his grill? It was gnarly. Yeah, well. I can admit, the better team won. The biggest difference was the U.S. team had a 3-time Vezina winner, and the Canadian goalie had a .864 save percent. Oh, that's awful. That is terrible. What our awful save percentage. They couldn't have done better to get somebody that had a higher save percentage. And we're still cleaning the tracks here. That's right, guys. I told you, it took about half hour. These tracks are, they got to get cleaned. So we'll get the big stuff out of the way, the thick stuff, and then I'll probably go over it again. DEI strikes Canada again. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it, Godzilla there. I really would. I didn't follow, like I say, I didn't follow the Olympics or anything. I'm more worried about the Alberta separation more than anything. I haven't really been paying attention to it because it's like, well, Canada. Why should I support Canada that wants to not give us a fair shake? Okay, we're getting close to that derail now. You can see that thing. What that does is it derails. It lives up to its name. It's called derail because it derails any rail car that is coming down the track so that it doesn't crash into yours. It doesn't crash into our rail cars. They say since we beat Canada, they have to let Alberta go. Yeah. Okay, well, we won't take the gold medal, but you got to let Alberta go. Luffy wasn't on the Canada hockey team, so Pop didn't. There we go. We'll get this big lump out of there. Make it fly. Just like how we beat Denmark, so they have to give us Greenland. Leave it to Railroad Tech to give us a perfect way to derail this conversation. Ah! Yeah, there you go, Veritax. Good one. So that derail, that's it has a lock on it, so you got to come out, unlock it with a key, and open it up so that the train can go by. And then they'll remove this sign, and the sign's like, you can't come here because there's rail cars attached or men working, so they're supposed to stop at that sign. And it's getting a little better now. Not getting as bad. You can see the main line is perfectly fine. So they must go by with their little turbojet or and clean it off there. Just wait till Woopa starts talking about Pokemon. Oh yeah, he'll go on and on. Did you see they got red and green coming out for the Switch there, Woopa? Pokemon Red and Green! At least the USA FBI director was drinking with the men's hockey team after they won instead of, arresting the Island Boys. Yeah. Gotta go party. Never mind about what happened there. Don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Woof, here we go. The snow is flying. Alberta separation is why we were Okotoks. Sturgeon Lake Cree were trying to enlist American tribes in their lawsuit. They got no takers. Good. I'm glad they didn't. I think they're being used by the federal government anyway. They're either being lied to or they're just being manipulated to trying to do stuff like that. Yeah, good old autocorrect, eh, Faber? Good old Okotoks. You saw the red and green for Switch, $20 for a 20-year-old virtual code. Seems a little pricey to you. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure how much it was going to be. I just saw that they were coming to the Switch. Okay, yeah, the blue sign says stop men at work. So that means that they're supposed to not come onto the spur. When we separate from Canada, we're changing back to the Edmonton Eskimos. Honestly, nobody was offended by that. Not even the people that live up in the Northwest Territories. You know for a fact they're taking money from Ottawa, but it isn't common knowledge. No, it never is, Fabric. Nobody comes through with that sort of thing. They need proof to convince the average person. Because, yeah, of course Ottawa is going to do that. They're going to undermine everything because they're going to lose their cash cow. But Comrade Leader, Woopa, poor Nintendo needs your money. Poor Nintendo. He's needing money. Guys, the Nintendo leadership, like, they've lost all the fun gaming guys that were in charge. Now it's all just bean counters. So Nintendo's lost. Like it's going to lose all its creativity. You don't have anybody higher up in charge that is a gamer, like Hiroshi Yamauchi or Satoru Iwata. No Reggie, anybody that was a gamer. They're not in charge. Funny thing is, they changed the name. They asked the 3 biggest tribes in Alberta if they were offended. The first 2 said, of course not. The third one said yes, so they changed. Oh, yeah, it figures. They should have just kept it. My thought has always been, why would you name something what you don't like? Like, you call them the Edmonton Eskimos because you hate Eskimos? No. It doesn't make sense to me. They'll never survive with your emulating. Nintendo name, woman CEO, talks about diversity in first speech, stock price tanks. Yeah, see? That's what I mean. Yeah, I think I just decided after a while that the middle didn't need to be done, and I just wanted to get the tracks cleared, just so there's nothing on top of it. Now you can see my shadow there. I've got that. That's what the leaf blower looks like in the shadow there. Well, not bad. Oh. I guess I'm going for one more pass. You, for one, I'm looking forward to Nintendo's 136th re-release of Mario Kart 1. Yeah. Iwata and Reggie were perfect if only they marketed the Wii U. Yes. They should have not called it the Wii U. That's the only thing that did them in. Don't call it the Wii U. They should have called it something else. And then people wouldn't have been confused. All right. That's it. Done clearing the tracks. Time to turn off the camera. There we go. Well, there you go, fellas. That's clearing the tracks with the leaf blower. Funny how the big snow stops just past the sign. Yep, I know, Fabric. And it's all from drifting too, because you get a lot of wind, and the snow just drifts like crazy. Makes giant, deep drifts. That's why you think they call it the Switch 2. We're not making that mistake. Yeah, exactly. Always come up with a different name than what your previous console was, right? And NES, you got SNES, right? Your Nintendo Entertainment System, you got the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And you make it look different too. After that, N64, the Nintendo 64. Okay, yeah, all right. That's what it looks like. It looks different. It's not the same as anything else before it. Then you got GameCube. Okay, good. Looks like a cube. Nothing changed. And then you got the Wii. Okay, yeah, we got the Wii. And then you got the Wii U, and it's like, oh, well, what's that? Is that like the Wii except a little different? Is it an add-on? So you confused everybody. And then there's after that, Switch. No problem. Switch. Yep, this is what it was. This is what it looks like. Okay, great. I mean, you could be like PlayStation, just go PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. If it's the next number, it's the next machine. Need for Speed Alberta Drift. Yes. Yeah. Where if you fall in the drift, people might not be able to find you. They could have marketed to French children in diapers and named it the Wee Wee. Mais oui. You like to play the Wee Wee. Huh? Nintendo waifu? Wait, what word? Did my background get you guys? Once again, who can name what show this is from? Anybody? You can send me either in Discord or on Twitter. or on YouTube comments, you can tell me who or what show are these girls from. And once we guess, we'll change it up to a different one. I think maybe I'll vary the difficulty so that they're not always like super difficult or obscure. This background has caught your attention. Well then. As it should. It's a good show. Props to Miss Mechanic for not throwing shade at your backgrounds. She's a good one. I'll tell you right now. She's definitely a keeper. Old Mrs. Mechanic. Definitely couldn't do it without her. She's behind every great man is a great woman. So there you go. You definitely want someone that's wants to be your partner. Like you're a team, right? So that's right. We're Team Pop. Veritax, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. You, sir, are correct. That is what show this is from. Look at Veritax coming in. Good job, Veritax. Nicely done. You got that name right? Only watched an episode or two of it? I watched the whole thing, and I bought all the figures for it. So there you go, guys. B17. If you want to watch a good show, watch 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. It's about girls that cosplay. It's in my locked folder named Secret Background Photos so that his wife can't rat him out. No, it's not. It's in my 2.5 Dimensional Seduction folder. I think that was on High Dive. Yeah, there you go. Way to ruin the game already, Veritax. Team Pop needs some merch with that. There you go. I'll have a different background next time there, fellas. Well, at least the one girl's religious, right, DJ? She's got the old cross there. Yeah, there we go. So we got it. Good job, Veritex. We'll have a different one next week. Gonna start wrapping things up here. Remember, guys, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on YouTube, whatever platform you're watching me on, because I'm out there on YouTube and I'm on Twitch and I'm on Kick and I'm on Rumble, just trying to cover all my bases. Your family considers anime a bit of a taboo thing. You have to watch it in secret. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Hokkaido gals are cuter, though. No, Veritax. They're super adorable. There's two crosses. You've studied that image intensely. All right, Godzilla there. Good man. You wasn't looking for crosses. You guys, you're the ones that make this fun to do. This is a fun time. All right, coming up, you guys, Saturday, more Odin Sphere. I'm going to be playing more Odin Sphere, and I'm playing with the character Oswald. He's the Black Knight. I've got to rescue the princess by defeating the wizards. I think he kidnapped Gwendolyn, so I have to go and save Gwendolyn. I've got to get these guys. I have to level myself up so I can be strong enough to take those guys on. And that's what I'm doing on Saturday. More Odin Sphere, trying to get through the next level. Pop Culture Goon Canic. Ooh! Oh, but you found him. Who's the pervert now, B17? They gotcha. These guys are very astute. Freak Culture Mechanic. Hey. There's nothing wrong with admiring something that's aesthetically pleasing, you know? And then coming up on Sunday, guys, it's March. It's going to be March on Sunday. And that means a new theme of the month. The new theme of the month for March is going to be March Movie Mayhem. So nothing but anime movies. No series. We'll only have movies or one-shots. And that's it. March Movie Mayhem for the anime chat on Sunday. So I hope you'll come on out and have a fun time, and we'll pick all sorts of movies from all sorts of genres, and we'll see what they're all about. That's called culture. You're just looking at them for their personality. Appleseed count as a movie? I think it does. Appleseed was a movie. Appleseed's made a few movies, actually. You better watch The Wind Rises in March then, Miyazaki March and all. Yeah, you know what, Godzilla? Mrs. Mechanic and I have already planned to watch it on Monday. Monday before, or what? Yeah, we will watch it. We have planned already to watch it. So, she's up for it too. She likes Miyazaki. I see two big old personalities there. There is an Appleseed movie. Yes, yeah. Yeah, for sure there's an Appleseed movie. I know there's one. And like I said, there's a couple. There's Appleseed, Appleseed Alpha, Appleseed Ex Machina, Appleseed 13, Appleseed Movie, Appleseed 13 Tartarus, and Appleseed 13 Oranos. So there's a couple. Mrs. Mechanic will enjoy it. Yeah, I think so too. I think she will enjoy when the wind rises. Mrs. Mechanic, yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, and then after Sunday, Anime Chat, it's going to be Tuesday, and we'll do Mayor Trades Talk Tuesday. And I hope to see all you guys there. More pictures, more videos, more talk about the skilled trades, and more incident investigations into workplace fatalities. Hopefully we can all take away a little bit of something from that so that we don't end up as a statistic either, because that's what we don't want. You want to go home the way you arrived at work, all in one piece. Other movies to consider: Paprika, I've heard of that. Perfect Blue, I've heard of that too. And you always could always review the classic Akira. Yes, yep, Akira. I remember watching that. I remember thinking to myself, man, this is freaking weird. But yeah, I have watched Akira. You love it when you end up being the most virtuous person in the chat. You remember when Mrs. Mechanic berated you when you blew me up in Lethal Company? I love that. I love that short that you made of that, though. That was great. That's I need to get a copy of that, Whoopa. I really do. That's that was a fun time. If we could show that, is it still on your channel? You still have it on there? Can we show it to everybody? I'm subscribed to Whoopa. Of course I am. A lot of football stuff. Still there. Introduction, Will Smith, Pokemon. You remember that? Hey, Pop, pick up that glowing frisbee. Okay. That's that frisbee. Boom. There we are. Helping my friend learn how to play Lethal Company.
Hey, Pop, there's a frisbee over there. You can pick it up.
I'll get it. Yep. That's not a frisbee.
That might not have been a first whoop out. I'm sorry.
We're
down a Canadian. We only have one. I had to do it to him over. Well, now my inventory is full. I'm happy that this succeeded. I deserved that. This is fair. I deserved it. This is fair.
Remember the time Will Smith slapped Whoopa? Don't you talk about my wife. Yeah, there we go. That was me. That was Whoopa helping me out in Lethal Company. Thanks, Whoopa. Anyway, when I'm not streaming, you can check out these other guys. Try Mike from Pacific 414 or DJ Ronnie G. He's in the chat right now. You can always check out DJ Ronnie G. He's got the Monday show on Thursday where he talks about tech, turtles, and astronomy. So check out DJ Ronnie G if you haven't already. There's Brandon the Anime Guy. I always watch him Saturday mornings, his anime show. There's Kyle at the RNG Podcast. There's the Comic Relief Crusader, his fellow L. Burton. He has shows on Tuesdays and Saturdays and Sundays. So he has Titillating Tuesdays, and he has he has a movie matinee on Saturday. So he'll pick a movie that's in the public domain and he'll play it on his channel. Mostly from the 20s and 30s, black and white, but he can play them. They're in the public domain. And then he has Huge Circles on Sundays where he draws his comic and talks with people in the comic book industry. You were trying to get someone to blow themselves up for the longest time. Well, you found your pigeon there, Whoopa. So check out the Comic Relief Crusader. He's on YouTube here. There's also Infinite Metal. He's probably streaming right now, too. He'll be, I'm sure he'll be streaming. Good old Infinite Metal. He's on Kick and Twitch, and he's very entertaining. I have a fun time watching Infinite Metal. There he is. He's on Twitch, like right now. Right there. He's playing the Chef's Shift. So you can check him out on Twitch. And then there's Call Me Kixie. She streams on Saturdays, but she's a great VTuber. You always have a fun time. She's very welcoming, very family friendly. She plays a lot of indie games. And it's an overall great time hanging out with Call Me Kixie. But that's going to do it for me today, fellas. I had a fun time, and I hope you did as well. I hope to see you the next time I'm streaming, which will be on the weekend. If not then, next Tuesday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.